Good morning, Riverhead community. Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. We had our first day back at school and we were sorting out the logistics of working in this space and working on distance learning and making sure that everybody was safe and secure, healthy and safe, and ensuring that your distance learning work is still going at the same time too while we have staff on board. So we're all up and running. We're all pretty excited, but pumped to be back. We have a very skeleton staff on board, as you can imagine, but we also have a lot of staff working from home. We touch base every single day, give some instructions and next steps and how's everybody feeling, and log in and also find out how you guys are going, since seeing if you've been on Seesaw, seeing if you've made any contact with anybody, and also just to see how our first set of online Google Meets with your kids have been going. So first day was yesterday. The reason and the why behind this is that in level 2, there may be some of you who choose to keep your children at home, because at that stage education will be voluntary, and we want to be able to continue your children's education and engage them with their mates and their friends at the same time as you make your decision as to whether your children come to school or whether they stay home. So the system that we're working on is working through Google Meet, and if we get really good at this, when we come back to level 2, we're going to make sure that you know the workshops that your children will be in, even if they're at home, and they will be participating with those kids who are at school. So we're going to try and keep that as seamless as possible, a real keep it simple, stupid method, so that your kids can still participate in a range of things within the school setting. I mean, it can't be 24/7, but at least we can provide your child with connections, number 1, with their teacher, number 2, continue their learning at their differentiated level, and support some of you who I know you are struggling with the instructions for your kids, and I know you are struggling to get your kids to do the tasks that are in front of them. Hey, I'm a mum too, so I know what that feels like. And also it is to make that connection with their friends back at school, also in a safe environment. So that's our goal. So if you're making that decision for level 2, then at least we will continue that learning pathway for your children. The other thing that's been really important for us is that we want to be able to check in with your kids. Number 1, about their well-being, because that's really important. Number 2, they want to see their mates on screen as well in a safe environment. So being with their teacher who can support them through that, and also being able to see their friends and hear their friends and go through the process of learning together. Some of that will be collaborative, especially at the higher levels. Some of that is just touching base with their teacher, hearing their voice and getting their set of instructions. So that's all good. The thing that I need to remind you as parents is that please make sure you know when your children are going online. Please also remind your children about being cyber safe and cyber smart. So as well as what we would normally do in the classroom, any behaviour issues that we have that are online will be dealt with exactly the same way. They'll have their privilege withdrawn from them, which is really sad, but you need to be somewhere in the vicinity. Please don't leave your children to be on Google Meets and not know where they're at and not know that they're there. It's really important for us as staff that we know that we have you guys in the background as well. And just reminding them to be cyber smart, because it's no different than being with your teacher, but it's no different from being alone too. Your children cannot access that meeting after the meeting is closed, so there is no other interaction, and our staff are on there on the dot ready to go to talk to them. So the actual support as far as an adult is concerned is very, very tight. The skills that they need to learn is how to turn on and off their microphone. That's really important, because there will be times, a lot of the time their mic is off, but when they're having discussions, they're being reminded to turn it back on. And also just to remind you, there is a thing called grid view. So you'll see at the top, there's a little square, 9 squares, and it's really important for the kids to be in grid view so they can hear and see the other people working with them as well. Now these videos are videoed, so everything that they say and everything that's happening is being captured by video. Number 1, for the safety for my staff, and also so that we can use those as a teaching tool for those children who miss out later. So this week is very much about wellbeing. This week is connecting and teaching your kids how to be cyber safe and how to work on the net through a Google Meet. Next week we'll be touching base and starting to do some learning online and getting some workshops up and running. The goal is, if we're in this for 3 weeks, by the 3rd week there'll be some really definitive workshops happening at each differentiated level. And after that, of course, we're hoping that we're back on school site and we'll be able to support the learners from school doing what we normally do, but we're videoing it and we're engaging them through Google Meet. But we'll give you all sorts of information. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. I hope your kids have loved it. I've gone into 3 or 4 Google Meets in the last 24 hours and just love seeing the kids' faces and hearing their voices. And so thank you very much for allowing them to jump on to those meets. It's really important for them and it's really important for us. Other than that, we are just ticking along. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're staying home. Hope you didn't queue for McDonald's or KFC for hours. And just keep doing what you're doing. And if we all keep doing what we're doing, we'll all be back in together in this space in no time. And we'll be working with you around how to make that easier for our kids to transition to school as well. And Kathy's been sending you some resources to look at and some video connections through Facebook. So just keep watching those, because it's actually more challenging than you think coming back into this space. So if it's challenging for adults, it'll be challenging for our kids as well, and your kids. Otherwise, have a great night. Hope to catch you tomorrow if nothing else happens and it doesn't go a bit crazy around here. And I'll catch up with you then. See ya. Bye.